Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Deepanjali Arora. I'm a Vedic astrologer, a tarot reader and a healer. And today I want to discuss the interesting transit of Mercury which is happening in the cosmos as of now. But first we understand the transit of Mercury. Let's understand what is the significance of this planet. Now, Mercury denotes young people. It's young people with work with your cousins, your friends. That is what this Mercury signifies. And more important than that, it is a significator for communication. How we communicate, what we communicate, the mediums of communications that we use, those are all controlled by Mercury. And it's a very, very strong planet for controlling business and commerce. It is also the planet which guides our intelligence. It's about logical thinking. Mercury is a planet which thinks logically and guides us. It's our day-to-day intelligence about getting things done, about getting job done, and understanding logically about why a certain thing is happening. So all this is controlled or directed by the planet Mercury. Now, let me share the screen and let's understand what's happening during this transit of Mercury, because it's a little complicated. Now let's see. Mercury was in the sign of Taurus till 26th of May, and it transited to the sign of Gemini on 26th May. So it's going to stay in Gemini, and then it's going to turn retrograde. That means Mercury will start, it will appear from the earth that the Mercury is going backwards. So whenever a planet retrogrades, that's how it appears to us. It's not as if they are going back in their elliptical orbit. No, it doesn't happen. It's from the perspective of Earth, it looks as if it is turning backward, and that has its own significance. Now on 30th of May, Mercury will turn retrograde, and it will stay retrograde in the sign of Taurus. And it will stay retrograde in the sign of Gemini till 3rd of May. And on 3rd, in its retrogression, in its backward movement, it shifts to the sign of Taurus. And it stays in retrogression in Taurus till 23rd. That's the day it starts to get direct. And then it stays in Taurus till 23rd June. And on 7th July, it will shift again back to the sign of Gemini. It will go direct. Well, this planet is very busy, right? You can see it in the month of May and June. Mercury is doing a lot of work, going forward, going backward, changing houses. There are many changes which we can expect, which are dealing with this sign, which are dealing with the significators of Mercury. Right? Now let's understand what it will mean for each and every one of us. Now, as I said earlier, Mercury is the planet of communication and of our logical thinking, of our intelligence and understanding of things. So when it goes direct in its own sign of Gemini and meets with Mars, that is the place where it is going to feel more empowered. And you will feel that's the time wherein you should go for your meetings, go for your interviews, connect with the people that you want to connect with, because you will have that clarity. And Mars is also making you aggressive about it. All you need to be careful of is that do not say things which can hurt others. Be very careful of the words that you're using and choosing. Do not be using harsh words. If you can be careful of that, then Mercury and Mars can work in your favor, because Mercury is coming any which ways to Gemini, which is its own sign, and it's going to empower you. You are going to have the intelligence of what to do with your work. It gives you business intellect because it's a natural third sign as well. Right, it gives you business intellect, and you might start to plan your maybe some kind of a travel that you have been wanting to do. And if you have been waiting to go somewhere, then that's also the time when you might do that. But Mercury in the sign of Gemini will go retrograde on 30th of May and will shift from Gemini to the sign of Taurus, back to the sign of Taurus on 3rd of June. What will that mean? And when Mercury is shifting, Mars is also shifting to the sign of Cancer, which is a sign of its debilitation. And Mercury is getting retrograde. What will it mean for all of us? You need to be being very careful of your gadgets. You might have, your phones might die out, your computers might have problems, anything which we use for communication, mics going off, you not being able to, you having difficulty in sending out your emails, internet's breaking down. These are the things which can happen when Mercury goes retrograde. And it is going retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So that means it will make you want to spend more money, because Taurus is a natural second house and it talks about our savings. When Mercury goes retrograde over there, we are thinking, okay, this is a good, this is not an expense, but this is an investment. I go and buy this car and it's an investment. No, it's not an investment, it's an expense. You need to know, you need to be very clear about these things. Because since sun is also sitting there, so you know in your soul what is the right way to be. But then Rahu is also sitting there in the sign of Taurus, which is going to show a different picture to Mercury. Rahu is a Mayavi planet. It creates a fog. It creates a smoke screen. So you have to be careful of where you are spending money and on whom you are spending money. And do you need to be doing that? Do not break your savings during the time of Mercury retrograde, because you might invest it in wrong things. It's not a good time to spend on luxury items as well, because Taurus denotes luxury items. It's, when I say luxury items, it's don't, if you want to buy a car, as I said, a car or a air conditioner or or a home, maybe you want to buy a house, maybe it's a good idea to wait till the Mercury goes direct, because buying such expensive things also talks about paperwork. Now, paperwork is another form of communication. So what happens when Mercury goes retrograde? Chances of mistakes become higher and stronger. So you might not know, but you are missing the fine print. You're not, even if you're reading it, you're not absorbing it well, right? Because Mercury is behaving differently. It is in a different zone altogether. Your mind is in a different place altogether, and it's going to behave differently. So this is a good, I would suggest not to be signing anything. If you have to sign a document, then you really have to recheck it maybe twice. Don't go and just sign something or buy something or do a big expense, because you're going to regret it later, because Mercury will go direct on 23rd of June. And that's when the regret will set in. That's when you'll realize, oh my God, I made these mistakes and I could have avoided it. And it's only, if you go to see, it's only for 21 days that Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. And then on 23rd, it becomes direct. So when it becomes direct, that means it is all in its normal, regular motion. Right? It's moving in the normal speed and moving in the normal direction. So once that starts, that would be the time when you should be making these decisions and making these changes, not while Mercury is retrograde. But the beauty of a retrograde is, in my experience, it gives us a different perspective on things, because retrogression is about looking inwards, going back. So when Mercury has come to the sign of Taurus and gone retrograde, what is it that you need to correct in your finances, in your home environment, in your family environment? That is what you need to be thinking. And that is where the focus should be. Because Sun, the Atma Karaka, is also sitting there. Sun is a significator of soul, right? It is also sitting there. So it's going to help to understand where you have been going wrong and where are the leaks that you need to plug. Also remember, on 10th of June, there is going to be a solar eclipse. I will be making a separate video for the same. And solar eclipse can also, then the sun goes in eclipse. So that's why this is not a very good time frame for making life-changing decisions. But this is the time frame when the life will change. Universe has taken it in its own hands to bring it in the forefront of our lives and make those changes. But you need to stay calm. You don't need to make any important decisions, and you need to go with the flow. Since Mercury met with Mars in the sign of Gemini and then went back and met with Sun and Rahu in the sign of Taurus, there could be, because Sun represents, Mars is a soldier and Sun is the king, Sun represents the government. So there could be some form of correction which might come about, some different rules and regulations which government might put in force as far as the social media, the communication or the conversations which happen over media. So that is one thing which might also come about during this transit of retrogradation, transit of Mercury. One important thing which all the students who have to keep in mind, for all those who are going to be writing any sort of exam, that you need to recheck your paper, because you will make silly mistakes. The probability of doing that will become higher, right? So do keep that in mind, that you need to recheck what you have written, for sure. Also, many of you will feel the change in yourself, in your own, in the way you deal with things. Maybe you will have a lot to say. Some people will just become blabbermouth. They'll have a lot to say, and there'll be some of us, some of those who will have nothing to say. They will, because they will be the Mercury can affect different people differently, right? So some people will go very talkative and some people might go very silent. So check it within your friend circle and family circle, how it is affecting whom. It would be an interesting thing to note, right? This is it. This is my short analysis for the Mercury transit, which is happening in the cosmos as of now. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know in the comment section how you found the video. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And all those who want a personal consultation done, my details are there in the description and also flashing on your screen. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.